talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. A tomorrow where your finances, property investments, property management, accounting, and financial planning are looked after in an exceptional capacity, all under the same roof. When hiring Reventon, you are hiring a team of professionals to support you in your investment and financial decisions. Your future is Reventon's future. So, let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow today.
I'll get the logo just to recently moved temporarily. But they grabbed the light. It's going to be enough to get rid of this thing out there. Not now, just, I'll tell you when. Now. Nice.
George, no one's got the key from the front.
So what, all these tables are going to stay on all day?
Until George or Jesse comes along.
Can you message George? No.
Hi, Chris.
Just let me see if it doesn't go FedEx. I'll do it.
That'll be 3%.
Yeah, that's it.
The small one?
Yeah, it's lovely there. So when you get a few chances, we'll go there. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh, are you all right? Yeah, all right. How are you going? Good. If it doesn't rain, perfect spot to
oh, yes, thanks.
from the academy. I've got a table 7, and then all the other tables are mixed. I want to turn their lights off. Nobody can see the lights off. Well, I would turn it on this morning. I don't know. But I think you can turn them on with the side key, but you have to have the front key to turn them on.
I just messaged George. Says,
Okay. Sorry.
I just messaged George.
Yeah, no, I just spoke to Jason Colbert. He's about to pull up out the front. He'll come in, and apparently he's got to tell you.
Yeah, he's got it.
Can you turn some information when you're...
I can turn them on.
Turn off first for the whole lot.
Because the key I've got turns on and off from the side.
Switchboard turn lights, so first of all,
Doesn't matter about from the front. Because they're,
Alright,
then everything goes off. No, but it's still turned off for the key. One on the side is a white masking. Jason's coming. Jason's coming to come on. No, he's parking just outside parking. No, Georgie. You can turn them on. The one on the side is the white masking. No, turn on.
That's my seat, mate. Yeah, I can get this one. You can sit next to me and do it. That's great. Is that Professor Wood, okay? I have no idea.
Thank you, George. Please lights are being turned off. So you get your players where you want them. For your photos. Jason, just photo for the middle team. Well done, Jason. Thanks. Thank you very much. I'm a tournament director. I'm not competing with the players. What is this?
And you go on. There we go. Just really spread out. Really spread out. Hey.
Right.
You had 2 slices. He didn't.
Right, here we go.
None of us want to get on the wrong side of the road.
1, 2.
Cool. We're done.
Very good.
Right, Josh. It's not broken. No, it's all good.
Those are the boundaries. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final of the 2019 Reventon Classic. As a lead up, I can tell you that last year we ran a number of Reventon hat-trick events, the 3 Reventon events, and all 3 were won by Victorians. And 2 weeks ago we ran the Reventon International, and once
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for the final.
In this final, we're going to meet Victorians. So,
Paul Cosgrove doing the introductions now. Sorry about
The
that.
two combatants in the final are a varied collection of supreme talents. Firstly, New South Wales, Tyson Crinis! And from India, the current world billiards champion, who is now trying to take away all that money in the snooker, Kothari! Can I ask everyone please to make sure their mobile phone is turned off? This match is a best of 9 frames, so we will
Paul
play
Cosgrove
4 frames and then there
doing
will
his
be a
intros. One of our Australia's best administrators in the sport.
On completion of this final, we will all repair to bar 135.
Fantastic referee. He's refereed professional finals in England. We're all very appreciative of all Paul's work. He does a magnificent job. So
I'll thank everybody for their kind
finishing up his introductions, telling everyone to have their mobiles on silent mode or aeroplane mode. And with me today in the commentary, I'm Steve Mifsud, if any of you don't know. But,
The whispering Ted Steve
I
Mifsud.
have with me the CEO of Reventon and major sponsor of most of our national ranking events in Australia, Chris Christophe. Welcome, Chris.
Yeah,
Is your
thanks, Steve.
phone on silent or aeroplane?
I just made sure that it is on silence, it doesn't stop beeping.
Because, yeah, that could be a bit disruptive, Chris, with the amount of calls you get.
I never stops, but on the weekend I usually switch it off. It's mainly our family time, so I'm very excited to be here, and what an exciting prospect to have in this final. And may I say, this is the first event out of 5 Reventon Triple Crown events that a non-Victorian is going to be a winner. Both first-time finalists, and they're both can make history.
Well, we have two. Well, I mean, Sourav is internationally known. He's represented India on a number of occasions. He's the current world billiards champion. His father was world billiards champion as well, so it's not a huge surprise that he's in the final. On the other hand, Tyson Crinis, as far as I know, it's his first national ranking event final. So, but at the same time, we've all known what a fantastic cueist and talent Tyson is. So it's wonderful, really, to see him in the final. No one would have predicted a 4-0 result against Matthew Bolton.
Yeah, I was actually saying that. I don't think he would have predicted that, but he's a great player. Again, he's one of the kids I grew up with as a junior, and he was always a very good player, always had the ability. And as we were discussing over lunch, he's one of these players that looks dangerous on the shot when he's playing. He did make back-to-back centuries in the Ian Chappell last year, and he's always a major threat. And even if he doesn't win today, I believe he's very close to winning not one but quite a few events in this country, actually. And going back to what you were saying about the family, father was a world champion, and that's what a legacy. And coming from a family of players yourself, you're a champion, your brother's a champion, and obviously your father was a legend in the game, so you can appreciate the legacy of another great family in the sport.
Yeah.
It was ironic when you presented the trophy in the international to your brother. It was a Mifsud trophy presented by Mifsud to a Mifsud. When I saw that message, I thought, Jesus, what would the odds of that ever happening again in the history? I actually, in my mind, had it played out that hopefully, no offense, Jimmy did win it. And you presented it would have been ideal, and ended up beating you and winning it, so it would have been bittersweet.
It was just meant to be, Chris. And so this is the dangerous part for Tyson, I feel, because, you know, it's the biggest match of his snooker career, really, playing in such a big final with a lot of prize money at stake, and playing an international player. And he looks a little bit nervous there. He played a foul shot, trying to swerve a safety, clipped the blue, and unluckily he's left Sourav a free ball
You
on
know,
the brown, and he's had an easy brown. He's given Sourav an easy starter here. So with Sourav's experience, I would, expect him to build a 40, 50-point lead from this leave and tie Tyson up in knots and keep him under pressure. But I think this is a key frame because, if Tyson can get up somehow, it just relaxes him and gives him a good chance in the final. But if Sourav does what I expect him to do here and take control of the frame, then Tyson's going to be on the back foot.
So I guess I only watched a little bit of Sourav play, but obviously his credentials are very high, and I guess what I have seen about him, he looks incredibly cool over the shot. He looks great, doesn't move, and he looks very comfortable. And I was talking with Steve Eberger beforehand, and he said he just looks composed, and obviously being a world champion he was, but he just looks fantastic around on the table.
Yeah,
his whole demeanour looks good.
Very solid, and knows when to take his medicine, play the right shot. He doesn't. His shot selection is very strong, so he's not going to make any silly mistakes. And yeah, it's looking like he's going to get off to a very good start here. And a little bit short there, underhit that one, but I think, as I was speaking in the commentary before, just the rain overnight, the table's just playing a fraction slow, so not running on as they might do with drier conditions. But the tables are in absolute pristine condition, having been reclothed this week by Alcock. So every table's been recovered, bed and cushion. So couldn't really ask for better conditions.
And you'd expect nothing less for such a big event, and obviously it's following 2 massive billiard events, and it's great to see Indian players come over, and very strong ones at that. So Sourav would actually be a good contender for the billiard event he's playing in as well, being the current world champion. He'd have to be amongst the top 2-3 favourites, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Big moment for him to actually make a breakthrough last year and win his first World Billiards Championship, and father and son both World Billiards champion. That's quite incredible.
That's awesome.
His father's he's national coach of India. He's coached in many countries. He's coached the Iran boys, and lovely guy. Very generous with his advice too. He's shown me a few shots at billiards, and just a lovely family.
So going back to obviously the first frame, it's 39-0, and it is important Tyson gets off the mark. But I have faith that he's going to, whether it's this frame or next, he will show up in this final, and he will do well, because he's too good of a player not to. And I always ask you this every time. And last final, I guess not to mention, I did predict the right scoreline. What do you think the scoreline's going to be? Won't say play because I don't want to put you on the spot, but give me a scoreline at least. Give me something.
I'll probably say 5-3 in this final. What about you, Chris?
I was actually going to say the same scoreline, so just for the sake of being different, I'll go with 5-2, but the first prediction would have been 5-3. And it's good to see an international player in the final, and also a New South Welshman as well, so it's good to see. Thank you to all the players that have supported this event. It was quite a big turnout, and there will be feedback forms, so please fill them out. It's an opportunity for us to improve the tournament and obviously to keep it going forward. And on social media, I think it's important that we all understand getting the right message out to our sport's important. Sponsors, parents, listen to this social media. And there's no point spewing on social media because it just follows a bunch of different spewing, and it's not good for the sport. It's not good for the sponsors, but more importantly, it's not good for the players. So social media should be used to promote our sport and to see our sport going forward. For those who have constructive criticism, use it for feedback forms and make a change. Have a solution to what you're saying. Because people just making comments, this, and everyone's getting on board, doesn't help our sport grow. So it's important we use the social media platforms for the right purpose and to get our message out there. I want to see the players increase. I want to see more prize money. I want to see more sponsorship. And by putting those comments, you're doing more harm than good. What a ripper.
Tyson.
Whoa. And so unlucky there.
Did another red go in? I think 2 reds went in.
I didn't see the second, but what a shot.
There was another red went into the left middle. But look at this. Look how unlucky he's been.
And I think
the black's blocked. He's snookered on the pink. All he's got is a safety, and he's going to leave Sourav something for sure, because it makes a big pocket, that red being over there. So
I guess if he sees the green, he's got to land behind the brown or the yellow here. But
I mean,
what a tough
gutsy shot. He played the plan going into the pack.
That is a gutsy shot.
Well, that's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
I think it's a good sign because he's in his first final. And doesn't look like he's going to hold back. He's going to go for it. So. And
for those watching, obviously, please share the link. Let's get more people watching this and supporting our great sport. And I didn't mean to go on a rant before. It's just I want to see our sport grow. So, yeah, for everyone on the social media, let's try to keep it on a positive tone with constructive ideas. And please fill out the feedback forms because it's a thankless job running an event like this. And it's very, very easy to see all the mistakes from outside. But when you're running it, you can understand the challenges that brings. So let's actually be part of the solution and help Paul and all the people run a better and more efficient event because it's not an easy job to do. So just on that note, thank you to all the players who did play in this event, and I hope to see you all next year. And we'll make a lot of amendments like we do every year to keep growing and evolving our sport in general. So, yeah.
Sourav just sliced in that red over the hole and has nice position on the yellow. He's going to go up toward the reds and one good, really tight positional shot here, and it'll be 1-0, I would say, because the reds are absolutely lovely. He's missed the green. He's missed the yellow.
Didn't expect that,
well,
but
there
now
you go.
This is a good chance.
This is it now. Tyson's got a wonderful opportunity to get a foothold into this first frame, and let's see what he's made of.
I heard a very, very funny story in lunch. You see this, Tyson's, I heard he rocked up to the practice room in his PJs about a 142 or 143, which is pretty impressive to do it in any attire, never mind your PJs, even though it's more comfortable. But he's a very laid-back kind of cat, the Tyson. And I heard that story. I thought that should be shared.
That was a time when there was myself, Neil Robertson, and Joel Younger who had turned pro, and Tyson came to spend a few months with us, and we're in a quite convenient situation where the house we were renting was 10 metres away from the snooker club.
Oh, he's over here.
So it was quite convenient to sort of get out of bed and, 10-metre walk and you're in the snooker club. So Tyson didn't really bother changing clothes.
That's the best.
He thought I'll go in my my green 8-ball pyjamas on. It was.
So just to get a visual, he was wearing green pyjamas. He jumped on the green felt. He played and made a one. What do you make a 142?
8 balls on them.
Made a 143. What was it?
Yeah, something like that.
142, 143. So
on a proper match table. So
that's amazing, honestly. But he's a great curious, and then, as I said, he looks
very likable character too. Everyone likes Tyson, and
there's he's got up a bit too. He's hit that a bit quick.
I just think what you're seeing now is just that first big final, nerves. This is the dangerous phase for Tyson here. He's got to settle down because his opponent's more experienced and more used to this kind of occasion. So
you've been in plenty of finals yourself, Steve. How important is it for having a lot of experience in finals like this? How much more advantage would that give you over a player that's raw, talented, can win it, but hasn't played in one before?
It's massive. It's just massive because you're not playing in a general room. There's not 4 other matches going or 8 other matches going. It's all the focus is on this match. Cue ball TVs here. So it's a completely different scenario. It's not even to change from the semi-final. There were 3 matches going on, including the plate. So, but now it's this is what you want. This is what you train for. Everyone dreams of first step is to win a national ranking event before you can move on to bigger and better things. But So I'm sure Tyson's been thinking about this for a long time. And something he really wants to do, but
It's a good shot.
he's just got to settle down. He's got to find a way to just settle down and
Well, it looks like
get
he's
his first frame on the board, but Sourav in complete control now, though. So this pink takes him to 51 ahead,
he's queuing well.
and that's quite a simple red for frame. The good thing is he's got best of 9, so he's got time to get into it. So, but yeah, Sourav looks in really good touch.
And it was a top quality field, obviously, as the international was a few weeks ago. We've had some great players, obviously. Defending champion who won the Norgron was Aaron Marnie, who played in it after quite a bit of an absence. So good to see him back on the circuit. And it's always attracts high quality players, and it's good to see an international make the final as well. This is a tough shot, but it obviously frames over, so not really as much pressure. Always missable along the rail. But you know what, if I was Tyson, I'm continuing just to try to pot a few balls and get my arm going, regardless of the scoreline. It is the first frame, so there's a big advantage to him just keeping his cue arm flowing and try to knock a few balls in, so when he's in the next frame, he's got a better chance of converting.
Yep. I agree 100% with that, Chris. The other thing with this final is Sourav would be quite relieved to have gotten through his semi-final as well. He wasn't looking like winning. He was in a very bad position in that match and managed to get away with it. And so he'd sort of be quite relaxed.
It's like a free shot in the final, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we've got James in the back here trying to hit him over the head because he beat James in the semi with a bottle of beer. It's half empty though. It would have been good to see James, obviously, I am a little bit biased, go to the final and win, because he would have won both international and classic, and there's a bonus of 10,000 for someone who wins all 3 in a calendar year, so it would have been a big, he's going to hit me over the head with a bottle now. It would have been what a big buzz it would have been going into that final tournament with 16, 17 grand winner take all on a $10,000 bonus. Yep, he's left the room now on all 3 events, but this is the only event he hasn't won of the Triple Crown. He's made 2 semi-finals, so he's definitely we're whipping on James at the moment. But he did lose last year. He told me 4-2. This year's 4-3, so he's hoping next year to make the final. So the first frame goes to Sourav, and we did mention, I think Steve's in here, so we mentioned Steve did make the final of the plate. Adrian Ridley beat him, so now he's probably going to leave the room as well. So well done to both the players. Steve Eberjar.
Steve Abaya.
Steve Abaya made the final with... No, it's not Steve Fisher, no. But well done to Steve Eberjar and to Adrian Ridley for making the final, and Adrian won that. And Matty's left the building. Yep, and he's back.
Abby Newman taking charge of the refereeing of the final. One of our best referees. Doing a very good job. Thank you to all our referees. We
received a note. Is Steve Missett commentating? Yes, he is. Please keep the questions coming through and keep sharing them. We've currently got 86 watching. Let's get a few hundred. So share the link. It's a massive match. 1-0 to Sourav versus Tyson Crinis. I think you said maiden final, but I think he made one in New South Wales. I'm not sure if he won a small event or something along those caliber, but first major big final, so we wish him well, and yeah, hope he picks it up here in the second frame. Obviously not an ideal shot. He's got the red over the centre pocket. You have to put a little bit of side, I think, just to miss it, but he's landed quite well for the red in the top green pocket. He's obviously going for it in the centre a bit up, but It's landed well.
Yeah, he's got a nice, he's in good position on this blue. And already he's got, the black's nice and open too. Goes in both pockets, so it's already looking like a nice chance in frame 2 for Sourav. And that can be just, the nerve's still there for Tyson, just catching his break off a bit thick. Sort of dealing with the nerves instead of adjusting to the throw of the cloth and getting his break off right.
Very forgivable, obviously, being his first final. Understandable that it can happen.
Yeah.
But look, it's a best of 9, and you'll definitely see Tyson play well. I think in this final, just might take him a couple of frames. So it's just it's the angle he's got here. Pot it, come behind get the black in the same pocket.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Chris.
Just off the cushion. Yep,
He's
always
kissed the red. He's kissed the red.
I think the red was always in that angle. It was always a hard shot to judge there. It looked like it was going towards it. Had to put a bit aside.
You don't know that.
But I guess he knows angles was good as anyone. He's a world billiard champion. But from where I was looking from the commentary, it looked like he was going right towards that red.
Right. I think the other thing is when you put that extension on your cue, it changes the shot slightly. So just aiming a tip higher or lower on the white, it just changes. So that might have thrown him off a little bit.
Didn't really have much to do there where he left it, so just made it awkward for Tyson and giving him an awkward safety shot because he didn't really have many options, I guess, where the white ball landed. So if he plays here, top right hand, nicks it, comes off 2 cushions, puts the white behind the bolt colours. So he's overhit that by quite some margin, actually.
Yeah, it hasn't settled at all yet. So that's not good enough, really. Playing someone of Sourav's quality, you can't be leaving the cue ball out of balk. So
Guess you want the hand on the rail there. You don't want his hand on the table whatsoever because it gives him great
look
control.
at this, Chris.
And, oh my God! I thought I was looking at the other red actually.
That's incredible.
That's so fortunate.
He's hit that safety really thick, opened the reds, and
Almost potted 2.
he's put 2 over the pocket and 1's dropped in. So you have to say, really, it was not the best shot selection, and he's got away with it there, and he's just going to tuck him up behind the yellow here. Well, I'm not sure how good this is because it could quite possibly knock this red in. Well, it's obvious he's going to have to go
If
for
he hits it, he's almost going to guarantee to knock it in. Yeah, I mean he's got to hit it pretty full to miss it.
Well, he can't play any other shot. He's
Half
got to try
ball,
and knock
quarter
it in because that's going to be there. So.
And the
But,
reds are in a great position.
It's a different table, different angle off the cushion, so it's not that easy. He's going to have to.
Which way are you going here, Steve?
I'm not going this way, but
Just basically other way with left hand side.
yeah.
Oh,
Look at that.
He's played it with lots of top and to check the white up and it came off the rail. So he hasn't missed it by much, but
Incredible effort. Very unlucky. Like, got us close to hitting it without.
without potting it, you're hitting it, yeah. But it was because he put top, obviously squared the white ball. But look at the chance that he's gave Sourav in the second frame here. The balls are absolutely beautiful. I guess the black's only in both pockets, but obviously there's a few on the right hand side that are holding it up. But what a good
Well, it's
position to
just
be in.
natural to just float this white up, pink into the middle, away you go. Yeah,
Yeah, he's in a good position here.
there's not much to do really. Just he's straight on this pink, rolls through a couple of inches.
No, he's
Well,
actually on the black.
He is on the black, yeah.
It didn't look like it when we were looking. Over 100 viewers now. Keep it going, guys. Good shot. Obviously, just in control. He's going to keep the white nice and tight here, not moving much, and giving himself options to score quite a few points. The balls are beautiful. So, I'd be surprised if he doesn't win the frame here because he's got
There's
a great
nothing
chance.
to do. There's nothing to do, Chris, really. As someone who controls the white as well as Sourav does, you would expect if Tyson does get a chance, he's going to be 50 or 60 behind anyway. So
Just a curious question, Steve. What age is Sourav? What?
I don't know, Chris. Yeah.
I'm just curious because winning his first world title, I'm going to find that out, and I'm just curious because winning your first title, Billiards, I just want to see. What age is Sourav? So I'm just finding out that information. I'm just curious. It always interests me, facts like that.
Well, I can't answer the question, but we've got our technical team doing the research as we speak, Chris.
All right, let's see. If not, I guess we can always ask one of the players, and I will come back with that answer. Yeah, I like to know different stats about the players, and our technical team said he's 34 years of age, so he looks quite young. So won his first world title at 33, 34. So there you go. Just a bit of trivia for those who are watching. Always. And Mr. Small, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kelvin says, yeah.
He's gone in. He's gone in off there. Yes, I
I
expected him
looked
to
away
make
for a
few
second,
there.
Chris. What
He
happened?
got out of position actually.
There was no cannons to make. What happened?
He got out of position and he's had to play a thin shot, missed it, gone in off, and he's given Tyson a good chance here. Pot this, 2 cushions land on the black, and they're all there. 27 behind, but the balls are very nice. So this would really settle him down if he can knock quite a few in here. He just ran a little bit out of position. So, he's just hit the knuckle then. Oof. What a difference that makes. He's got the white ball.
Did he hit
further.
the knuckle? I thought it looked
Of the
like
cushion,
he
yeah.
played a little bit of check or something.
No, it hit the knuckle and
Unintentional.
came back
Oh,
down,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
He should have hit it a bit, obviously thicker.
Well,
Thinner
this-
to move. This is a tough shot.
Tricky. No.
Yeah, you don't want that shot when you're under the pump, but I did expect him to get it. That's just a little bit of luck there. If he misses that knuckle, the white ball's out, and makes that black so much easier. But he was fortunate enough to miss the black and cover the hole, so he's left the red up there.
Yeah, very. It's not looking good for Tyson because he hasn't settled at all. And looking at the body language of both players, Sourav looks quite assured, and Tyson's just looking on edge really. He's really got to get a frame on the board soon. I don't think. I think this frame's gone now, and he's going to have to get a frame on the board very shortly if he's going to get into this match.
He's played the cannon, gone through it. He's obviously trying to hit and leave himself options. He's still got the red down the road, but I thought that's an odd choice.
Yeah. Obviously, there was too much angle, and I thought he could have held, but
But he's trying to kill the white. But I did think it was an odd choice. This isn't easy, obviously, bridging over the black, but you would expect him to get it. Doesn't have to do much, just knock it in. He's on the black.
Yeah, he's still okay.
Great shot.
Yeah, he's still all right.
And I guess it opens the pocket up as well when the black goes in, and the reds are pretty much all there. You can do pretty much what you want here. Just roll it in, and you're going to be on a choice of
Yeah,
a couple reds.
he's quite natural to be on this.
Oh,
Now,
played that with side.
surely that was a kick or something that he couldn't have missed by that much.
I think
Can't tell, obviously, from where we're sitting, but that's very strange to miss by that much at such short range.
Could be Sourav's also. Obviously, he's got nerves as well. He hasn't settled down because he's got quite a few chances as well. So in this frame alone, he probably had 2-3 opportunities to kill it off, and he hasn't yet either. So there's signs that he's going to give obviously Tyson a few shots. And it's played that perfect, landed on the right side of the blue.
Well, I think this could turn around now because Sourav will be kicking himself, not being 2-0 up. And if Tyson can just take these now and just relax, then, you know, I know he's queuing well because I was speaking before during the semi-finals. I was at the same venue as him during the round robin and just played beautifully all day. So he's, you know, and obviously beaten Matthew 4-0. He's had a great run to get to the final, so the queuing's there. It's just, at this point, it's just composure and just relaxing into the match. So, but once again, he's
Underhit it, but
he's quite
got the
awkward,
black.
really. He's straight in the blue, can't take the blue. He's got a straight black. Maybe he can just pinch an angle here and just come off the cush for the red into the middle.
He had so many options there. He's landed awkward actually, but he could have landed pretty much a bit further up, and you got so many options. But
Perhaps this red goes underneath the other red there into the corner, and he can just soft screw up
where the
for
yellow
blue.
pocket is,
Yeah, I think he can just soft screw up for the blue.
yeah, it's
So he's fine. He's good.
he's landed now. He's
Yeah.
back in prime position,
Right side of the blue.
right side of the
so
blue. So this puts him to 24. Sourav's 38, so it's only 14 down, and he's in a great position. The first challenge I see in front of him after these 3 reds is the yellow, but just very important he picks these off, which I'm sure he will.
And Tyson is he's moving to Melbourne. He's in the process of moving down here as well. So
So-
it's got it seems to be the centre of the universe for snooker and billiards at the moment. Melbourne.
So if he wins
Everyone's
it,
moving down here. Ben Foster's moved from Western Australia, and Tyson's moving down. So
I think that's a good. Oh, he just miscued that.
see, that's
Pressure, he just jabbed it a bit.
not just that, Chris. It's a bit of an inexperience. There's no need to hit that low. He was right behind the black, new cloth. Just could have hit a bit higher on the white and just, you know, play with a bit more pace.
It's very interesting point, Steve, because most people would get low and good tip, just hit a little bit higher. You're playing on a new cloth, so you don't have to do as much work.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that, to be honest. I just picked that up. If I ever make a final, Steve, and I'm in that position, I'll definitely hit a little bit higher.
So
So
there
technically,
you have
if
it.
Tyson does win it, does that mean he's Victorian? Can we still claim all 5 of the events?
Yeah,
Steve?
why not?
All right, so if Tyson wins it and he moves down, that means all 5 are won by Victorians. I'm only kidding. We'll
Yeah.
give it to New South Wales. He doesn't technically live here at the time of win, so we should go based on time of win. But
He's got the Melbourne attitude, I'll tell you.
Laid back.
When I saw him at Brunswick, you know, how you going, Tyson? First thing he said, Stevie, where do I get a good coffee?
that's funny. So he's I can see he's right behind the pink here. 20 points down. He doesn't want to move the pink too much because he wants to keep the yellow obviously dead, and he's played it well. Another bit of security for him. So 20 points up. He's going to hit this a little bit pacey, I think, to bring distance between the cue ball and the red, which he's done.
Nice
and
hit. Got the kiss on the
if
black.
he does, the black doesn't go in. He's wow.
And it's a free ball as well.
That's just the chances of him doing that. He'll get that one in 1,000 or thousands, but it happens there and leaves the perfect free ball plumb on the blue. 20, 27. The difference comes down to the black.
That's it. 2-0. black and red to make sure of the frame, but yeah, that's 2-0.
He was very unlucky though in that shot. He hit it well and he hit it hard. He has had his chances in this frame to go 1-all, so he'll be kicking himself a little bit to go 2-0 down. The third frame I think is very, very important. Tyson needs to win this one. If he goes 3-0 down, I think it's going to be a mountain to climb in your first final against the current world billiard champion.
100%, Chris, and he's got so much experience, he's not going to...
Just give it to you.
Yeah, Tyson's going to have to create something here. He's going to have to make it happen. Because Sourav's not going to make too many mistakes in the tactical department. So interesting to see what happens next, but not looking good at the moment for Tyson. Pretty attractive match to watch, really. Both players get on with it. No, there's no hanging about. They don't really want to get tied down in tactical frames, but
we're sitting at about 40 minutes, 2 frames, which is pretty quick first It's a major final. Yeah. And I imagine the frames will only get quicker as the match goes on. Usually the first frame and the last tend to be a little bit slower than the rest. So the middle of the match is a bit more free-flowing. He's just gone along his business, just putting away now. It's obviously frames over, 2-0 up, and
the table's in immaculate condition, you know, with new cloth. This is an all-cock table with steel back cushions, so, you know, the table play's lovely, so it's all conducive to good snooker.
Very happy we purchased this table for the the Reventon Snooker Academy. It was first created for the 1994 Australian Open, which we then bought off Hall, Cox and Thompson, so we have the privilege of having the match table in our club. So yeah, it's a great table and we get a lot of good feedback from players playing on it. So there's a bit of an advertisement of the Reventon Classic. It's the second of the third Triple Crown event. Boasts $25,000. It's a 10K first prize, which is the smallest first prize of our 3. 2 weeks ago it was 14K, and the Masters Final, which is an invitation-only event and a qualified event, which will see 12 of our best players go at it. Will boast over 15,000 first prize winner-take-all event, with a couple 147 events. So that's an event that's in its 4th year this year, and that was the start of the Reventon Triple Crown, and one that you've played in all 3 of those, Steve, and current champion. Yep. So it's 2 Mifsuds out of 3 years have won it, different ones as well, so it's quite impressive. It's good to see your name along your brother's name, which is, I know he's always happy to see both your names on an honour board, Steve.
Yeah, these are all great events, Chris, and it's all thanks to your company, Reventon, and all the wonderful sponsorships that you've, you know, not only these events, you've been sponsoring a lot of events in Australia. I mean, you sponsored the Tasmanian event, the Ron Atkins Pot Black, the National you've sponsored for a number of years. So
National Billiards and Chapel Classic. I can keep going, but it's all right. We get it. We got a few. I do want to make a prediction.
The players are all very appreciative, Chris, and you've given all these young guys a lot to shoot for, and the future's very bright for any aspiring young snooker player who wants to represent Australia or turn professional. It's you've provided them with a lot of great opportunities. So
I did say,
on behalf of them, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I did say many years ago that I was going to leave the sport and come back and do great things for the sport. I'd like to make the next Reventon prediction. Within the next 2 to 4 years, there will be another big event, another big venue in our state, and it's going to be massive. It's going to have match tables, 10 to 12 snooker tables, and it'll be the premier snooker club, Q Sport club in the Southern Hemisphere. It's probably a 2 to 4 year project. I do want to get involved in the management of the sport as well at that time when I'll have a little bit more time. So in the next 3 to 4 years, you'll see Reventon not only sponsor the sport, have a massive club, but I'll also be involved in it a lot more. To the final detail, running events, making sure our players have great opportunities to make it to the professional ranks and really put our sport on the map where I feel Australia should be. So I am going to be devoting a lot more time in the sport in the next 2-3 years and having a venue with everything that we need, a final table, seating, all-star tables, all professional tables and things like that. That's something that I'm passionate about to do in the next 2 to 4 years. I need to find the right venue. And I know it's 2 to 4 years away, but that's the next prediction that I've got for snooker in this country.
Well, that's wonderful news for everyone involved, Chris. That's fantastic news. And speaking from my point of view, as someone who's been around a long time, we might not have the
Great shot.
same population in Australia and the pool of players that some countries have, but we do have a lot of talented young players, and from what I see, a lot of those guys could go on to professional careers. So this is what's required, though, like investment in the sport, better venues.
More venues.
Yeah, more playing opportunities, better conditions. So that's what you're doing is fantastic. And from what I can see, some of the young guys we have are very, very talented. So they just need the right coaching and right guidance and right opportunities. And I can see a few of them going on to promising professional careers.
I can't help with the coaching or the guidance, but the opportunities is where I want to help. Now, last year I was in London and I had dinner with Jason Ferguson, and I asked him a question. I said to him, Jason, obviously our sport in Australia would like to see it go forward. Why are you so interested in Australia, and why do you want to promote Australian and New Zealand snooker? He mentioned New Zealand as well. He said because it has such popular history. You have such, great players come from here, and obviously we have the great Walter Lindrum. We've currently got Neil Robinson, and he said it needs to be a part of snooker history, because my question is always, why does somebody do something? Why would you promote it in Australia when you've got places like India, places like China that are just booming around the world, but we don't seem to have the same sort of progression? My question is why? Would you put your effort and resource? And there he goes, I know the history that it's got is very prominent and popular, and I want to see that grow. So that's the answer that I wanted to hear, obviously, hence why I asked the question. But it was really nice hearing it from Jason Ferguson's mouth, and it was nice of him to take me out to dinner and just talk about the sport in general. And I'm going to try my best to fly to China next year when there's an event on, so I can meet him and discuss my future plans in the sport, because he told me to keep him updated, and that's obviously going to involve the snooker tables and things like that, and how we can assist me or the club. Oof, that was another misstep by Tyson. I think this red's on. It looks like it flies in. Yeah, it does. So it's not good. Not looking good for Tyson at the moment.
Wow.
The reds are pretty nice here.
And Chris, part of your generous sponsorship is a prize for a maximum break, which is $5,000.
That's correct. For the first maximum made, and 5,000 if someone doesn't drop a frame in the event. I don't know if anyone has. I thought actually
That's gone. No one can do that now.
good.
You're okay there, mate. Don't worry about it.
Cool. I didn't bring the money on me, but
The maximum is still up for grabs, and
I'll have to go to the bank.
there's 2 blacks coming up. So
There is a few
actually,
exciting things.
there are a few professionals who would probably go for it at this point, but I'm pretty sure Sourav's just trying to build a bit of a lead. But the reds are really nice.
Ooh, that just went in there off the cushion.
There's nothing difficult there. Nothing on the cushions really. I think they're getting they're getting a few kicks.
Yes, it looked like a bit of the other one that I really like. The bonus is $1,000 for a maiden century made. So obviously that's for someone who's made their first century competitive play. And there's other bonuses too, which is good to see. Go to a range of different players. I don't know if anyone made a maiden century. I think there was a couple centuries made in this event, and there was one made in the plate as well. 2 made in the plate. Stan Gorski made one, and so did Adrian Ridley. And the main event we had James make one, and someone made 100 exactly.
Kurt Dunham.
So there was 4 centuries made, which is well done to all the players doing that. Obviously our conditions are superb, so thanks to George Taylor and all the boys at Alcox and Thompson. Les, you always do a good job with the tables.
So just a bit concerning at the moment for...
Hunter hit that quite a bit.
He has, but just the body language of both players. Tyson's looking quite relaxed in his chair there, but
Maybe too relaxed.
hands behind the head.
We should go put the PJs on and come back and make a 1-4-3, I reckon.
Sourav's strutting around the table like he really means business, and
You know what? That's
he's got
Tyson's
really,
demeanour.
really good body language, and
Look, it's that. Ever since I've known Tyson, he's
he's a pretty laid-back dude, and he is.
Yeah. We've just saved 5,000 there too, Steve. So it's a pretty good sign for Reventon.
Yeah. But he's in good shape here. But it's a nice break building situation. Black's free. He stuns this yellow up, a little bit of running side. He's going to be coming in on the line of that red near the pink. And
Yeah, and he's.
yeah, it's all looking really good for India and Sourav Kothari at the moment.
All the neutral players and all the New South Wales people that are rooting Tyson Crinis on hopefully fires up soon, because you want him to put a frame on the board ASAP. Oh, I don't know if I fizz on that, and I think you might be wow.
Cracking shot.
Wow, that's
It just shows you though the quality of the cloth we got
Didn't even
on.
hit it
and,
hard.
It's just you can play those shots.
cued it beautifully though. Just that was all cueing, barely just hit right through the ball and played it well. Gonna try to develop this. I thought he was trying to hit the bottom red.
Wow, that wasn't too difficult at all. That's what Tyson needs, something like that, like easy opening and Sourav sort of breaking down once he's in. He's crucial that he gets a frame on the board.
Over 120 out watching now, so thanks for all those out there watching. He's gone in off the bump there, off the knuckle, but it's gone in nevertheless, so
I think he's straightish on the black though. He would have liked a bit more angle.
have to screw back, just a little bit of side come over the pink to land on either of those two reds in the same pocket. A little bit of pressure so as before he can't hit too low, yeah? Don't want to chipping over the white, black.
Well, I think he has to here. He's
going to run through,
he's
get the reds
he's
in the
got
centre.
angle, Chris. I made a mistake.
He's got another pocket.
While he's trying to force the angle.
Yeah, it's still, so that was a tough shot. Yeah, I think, I don't...
He's okay. He's actually okay. He can soft screw this and
In
get
the
on the
middle.
black. Yeah. Tricky little shot.
It's a tough shot.
It's
blind
he
pocket,
could
centre
have
pocket.
finished in a much worse position.
It's optimistic. That's a great shot.
I was
Great
watching
shot.
his head there. He kept his head very, very still. So that's good.
Cued that well. Tough, tricky shot in the centre.
Now, there's no problem with his cueing. He's cued beautifully in this tournament. So it's just whether he can compose himself and just settle down.
He's got the red in the centre there. He's actually played that very well.
I've always been a big fan of Tyson's cueing, and he hasn't really got frustrated with the game either. Like he keeps turning up to events. He hasn't won a tournament, but he keeps supporting the game, keeps turning up, battling away.
It's
Just be nice to see him settle into this final and make a match of it.
so easy to get frustrated. Such a tough sport.
It is.
They say it's one of the hardest sports to master, this alongside golf. Two of the hardest sports to master, and it's very challenging mentally. It's all a game of fractions, and I know that I found myself frustrated many times. Took 3 years off, so well, I admire someone that just continues. Just played that well.
Yeah, good control of the white. He's perfectly on this red into the middle.
It's only 4 points behind here now. So
But yeah, it just really wants to win the frame well, though. He doesn't want to get into a scrappy frame and try and win it on the colours or something. He wants to. Here he is changing hands. So.
He plays well. He plays very well opposite-handed as well. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure he's made a 100 break, but I know it's thereabouts. That's how good he is with his other hand.
Just playing this with a tracer side to come up for that red.
It's
Beautiful shot.
That's honestly,
It's lovely.
it actually pisses me off seeing someone do it that easy. To be honest, I struggle with the right hand playing that shot. He just gets with left hand, checks side, puts it up, bang. Swap your hand, pot the red, swap again, just keep going.
So maybe that body language in the chair, you know, hands behind the head, relaxed. Maybe that's just changed things a bit.
You know what? I've
He's got rid of those nerves.
20
and,
years.
He's looking in good touch around the black here.
That's Tyson, and the story you said about the PJs, that's so Tyson. It does not surprise me at all. This guy's so laid back, he's horizontal.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
Just,
character.
it's the way he is. And I think it serves him well when he plays snooker, because you never see him flustered. You don't see him getting frustrated. I don't think I've ever seen him in an event, and I've played a lot of events with this kid, ever
Key
get
shot.
upset or frustrated.
Key shot coming up, Chris. He's got to get good angle here.
He's underhit that
Well,
by a margin.
Unless he wants to take this pink on, he's not getting into these reds.
Yeah, Key obviously would have three-quarter shot, and it's got a big target. If he opens them up, he's on a red. So what do you do here, Stu?
Take the pink, you're into the reds. Just pot it, and
You
you'll be
just
on
have
all
to pot
four.
it. It's always easy from commentary. But it's probably the shot if you're going for the tournament. If you're going for the frame, get back into this. But I think he's just going to pot the
There's-
blue here.
Well, it's end of break if he pots the blue, really. Like
He's going to try to come round. It's such a hard shot. He needs. I don't even know how we could have got into him from there. I don't think he had the angle to do that.
Oh,
46.
bit of a lead, and
Just make sure that you get the white hard up here. Try to snooker him if possible, but it's important he keeps the pressure on Sourav here in the third frame. He's built up an 18-point lead, so
just a bit tricky not to leave something like a hard.
he's nice. He's okay. He's going to hit the bump there.
There's no real shot to nothing on there, so
It's
that's
not.
all right.
It's not a bad shot because he's got the pink there as well. He's hitting the top of the reds there. He's got to hit it half ball to clear the other two. So it's a bit of a tricky shot here to play and land safe.
Wow, this red's on.
Oh, I didn't say the shot to nothing.
Well,
This is his chance, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is nice. Half ball shot.
Shot to nothing, bring the white ball up. And he's a great long putter. He's got such a sound technique. So,
No.
didn't.
Has he got away with it? That's pretty good.
It's okay.
I was going to say, it looked like he was queuing up to take that on. Maybe he is.
It looks like he is. Definitely not taking it on.
I didn't think he
Unless it
could
was a
avoid
cross
the pink.
double.
Well, that's pretty good.
It's a good safety shot. He's obviously put him in all sorts of trouble because you can't get to the left side of the reds.
I think he might be able to, Chris. He might be able to clip that red.
Doesn't look like it from here. You think he can? Anyway, look there. The left side. I don't know, so we've got conflicting views here. We'll see. I'm back in Steve's call, but we will see. I'm referring to the the red on the left-hand side.
Well, it's close. He's having a good look.
It's 50-50. %60 of the time it works every time, Steve. That's for Menka, man. I love that quote. Good old Ron Burgundy. It's a tricky shot. Whether he can see the right or left, it's still a tricky shot.
So just a reminder to the viewers, we got billiards starting tomorrow, international billiards event at the Reventon Academy in Yarraville. 175D Stephen Street, starting at 10 a.m. Just had a lash.
Just give it a go when in doubt. He's actually landed okay there, considering. I know he's left a shot on, but it could have been a lot worse.
The billiards runs all day from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night. Yeah, starts tomorrow, goes till next Tuesday.
And you've got some classy players, world champions, competing in this event. And it's always a good spectacle of billiards, so please get down and support the players. Yeah, great shot. Skewed that well.
World number 1, Peter Gilchrist, current world champion, and the man at the table at the moment, Sourav Kothari. Four other Indian players, Matthew Bolton,
great shot. And obviously yourselves too, Steve, will be competing in that event.
Matthew Bolton, 16 times Australian billiards champion.
He's only a couple behind
Yeah.
Nadal. And they're going to rename it the Bolton Cup. But I think he's 2 behind Marshall. I think it's 5, so it's 21. So he's got 21 Aussies. That's a big
Australian
achievement.
record break holder at 889.
809.
809, sorry.
So everyone's following this career to see if he will catch the great Bob Marshall, obviously, and make 1,000 break. I hope he does both. I think he will. So come down and watch him compete. Steve, you're playing in the event as well?
I am playing. Yep. And the format's changed this year. It's not 150 up, so it's going to be a treat for all the billiards enthusiasts and anyone out there has an interest in billiards and wants to, see how the game's played. It's you're going to get all these international players, and they're going to play timed billiards instead of 150 up. So you get to see them make big breaks.
I've got some commentary. Someone's watching from the UK, so thank you very much. Share our link. Let's get it worldwide and showcase Australian snooker at its highest level.
So Sourav going 3-0 up here. Colours on the spots.
I think there's a break if it's 3-0 or 4 frames, depending on, I think it's either or. So there might be a short break after this. It won't be for long, about 15 minutes. It's either after 4 frames or 3-0 in some cases. I'm not 100% sure, so there might be a short break. So we'll see what happens there.
Can you confirm that?
Okay, we've just had to confirm that it is after 4 frame, regardless if the result's 3-0 or not.
So just yellow, green and brown required. So
Elementary stuff for Sourav in this position here. He looks like a cool customer.
Unfortunately, we all have to go through this. Very rarely you see someone make their first final and win that final. I can't remember too many players doing that. And some players famously lost a lot of finals before they win their first. So
Remember your brother won his first. He was 3-0 down, best of 7 at Yarraville.
Is that his first one?
Yeah, he was against Robin Beggs, Yarraville.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a I remember that because obviously we used to watch most of each other's matches, and
Yeah.
there's one player.
Oh, there you go.
Did you win your first?
No.
I didn't either. I haven't got to one yet.
I can reminisce here a little bit. My first was in Lithgow at the age of 15. There was
the city of Melbourne?
128 players in that event. Lithgow, New South Wales.
Oh.
And yeah, I drove up there with Robin Beggs, Peter Hawkes and my father, and at 15 made the final and played Roger Fairbrother. And he beat me 4-2 in that finals.
Did you remember how long it took? Did you play a few to win your first?
I did lose, I think it was 3 or 4 before I won my first.
So there you go. So if you lose a couple, don't get disheartened. You can keep playing and win a world championship in about 50 events here on 8 nationals. So there you go. That's 8 nationals. Equaled Max Williams' record last year, actually. 6 opens. I never see them. I like stats. I like people dominating the sport, so I read up on even sports I don't really like much. I know how many people have won if they're dominating. I don't know why. Just like seeing people on top of their game and doing well. Yeah, Nadal's actually playing for his 12th. He's won his 12th. Oh, I thought it was today. Oh my God! So that's his 18th now. He's now only 2 from Federer, and he's definitely got 3-4 more opens in him, at least Frenches. So what an achievement! 12 tournaments, any tournament between 12 Frenches. Wow.
He was injured for about 3 years as well. Like he actually pulled out of one match before the start of the match as well. So he was on track.
I went and watched.
Quite a remarkable record.
Went and watched him this year in the final Australian Open when he played Djokovic, and it was just Djokovic just absolutely teared him apart, and it was disappointing because obviously I was expecting a tough game. But yeah, I was at the final there, and both injured after a long layout, and both made the final. And Djokovic won his record Aussie Open, and now you got Nadal winning his 12th.
Let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. A tomorrow where your finances, property investments, property management, accounting, and financial planning are looked after in an exceptional capacity, all under the same.
So I can tell you all, for people interested in coming down to watch the billiards tomorrow, at 2 p.m. there's a fantastic session of billiards going to be played. Well, you will have Rob Hall, who's, I think he's ranked, he's defending champion of the Pacific International Billiards Championship. He'll be playing against Henry Ketkuti. In that session as well, you have Matthew Bolton, the current Australian National Billiards Champion, playing Russ Delahunty. As well as those two, Peter Gilchrist, 6 times World Billiards Champion. And the man you're watching at the moment playing the final of the Reventon Classic here, Sourav Kothari. He's also on, so 4 of the best billiard players in the world will be on the 2 p.m. session tomorrow. That's at the Reventon Academy in Yarraville, 175D Stephen Street.
So get down and support the guys. And for those people interested in the stats, it was the 7th Aussie Open Novak won this year. It was a record. He had the 6th equal with Federer.
In the 4 p.m. session, you have some other Indian billiard players playing: Devaj Haria, Alok Kumar, Dhruv Sitwala. So just some fantastic billiards on. You're guaranteed to see some, 300 plus breaks tomorrow, and especially with the tables playing the way they are. They're in wonderful condition.
How long does a billiard go for, Steve? Both of the events, for everyone out there watching, it's quite a while, isn't it? Because then it's followed by the
It goes till
national.
next Tuesday. Yeah, so the next 8 days there's a festival of billiards at the Yarraville Club.
It's a Festivus for the rest of us, huh? So going back to the match.
Back to the snooker. Somehow I've taken my eye off it, but Tyson's got in very early here, and he's got 6 to go. Only 2 loose reds, so I think he's thinking of just getting into this pack. So crucial that he gets this pink full ball, and if he can just stun off it and stay for that red, would be ideal.
And I'm introducing another former champion.
A little bit too low on the cue ball there. He caught the pink a bit too thin, so he's finished up near the corner pocket.
So I'm going to let a few frames. Here, Andrew Hicks is coming on. I know he'll be commentating with Steve Miss. They got two great champions, so you'll get some insights here. So stay tuned, keep watching, sharing our link, and thank you to everyone out there.
Thank you, Chris.
Difficult to see, but I think we've got she's back.
So welcome, Andrew. Andrew Hicks, very good close friend of mine. Wonderful snooker player. We actually very similar age, Andrew and I. We grew up playing juniors together. Andrew famously made the semi-finals of the World IBSF Snooker Championship in South Africa. Fantastic natural talent. And yeah, welcome, Andrew. Good to see you here.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks. I appreciate you having me on, and looks like it's quite a good final at the moment, but Sourav looks as though he's in complete control. Let's hope Tyson can get one back before the break and make it interesting.
Yeah, you feel that he's got to win this frame, Andrew. I mean, 4-0 is just too much. But if he can nick this frame here, 3-1, you never know.
That's right.
Comes out, wins the next one, 3-2, and then it's game on. So
yep. I can remember Tyson, just as I was getting out of the juniors, he was a little tacker just getting into it, and he seemed like he had good technique then, and the will to want to play and perform, and he's obviously in the final now, so he's been putting in a lot of practice, I'm guessing, up in New South Wales. And
see, that's just a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
that's just a really good cueing shot. That he's just struck it well, and unfortunately he's run a bit too far, but he's just going to
tap it behind the green,
tuck him up here, and with the reds the way they are, this is he's going to have to draw on all his billiard knowledge and ability here to get a safe position, but I can't see anything easy here where he can leave the cue ball safe. It's going to take a good shot.
There doesn't appear to be too much of a gap behind the green. If there was, he could possibly come off the cushion next to the yellow, down past the pink, and hopefully drop that red down near the black spot, near the cushion. Otherwise, he might be looking at that now, or either off 2 cushions, off the back cushion, maybe 2 or 3 cushions, and as long as he misses the pink, he's got a fair chance of hitting that red down the bottom, and hopefully for Sourav's sake, he won't leave one on to Tyson to get back into it. You're talking about your first tournament win before, Steve. I can remember a City of Melbourne. I can't remember if you were 16 or 17, but you knocked that one off in the late 80s, I think, from memory.
Oh, that was my first win, yeah, the City of Melbourne, when I was 17.
Yeah, I was in the stands there watching.
Andrew, you've been pretty fortunate, really, in your career. had some really good coaching over the years. You've been influenced by some of the great coaches in Australia. Tell us a little bit about that, mate.
Pretty much. I started Bruce McPhee, who used to own the Legends Snooker Room in South Yarra and one in Epping. He was a champion player himself, 100 break player, prolific 200 break player in billiards. Took me under his wing when I was about 17, 18 and just taught me an attacking style of game, which developed quite good over the 4 or 5 years that I was with him. And I think after about 3 years, it was my turn to win the City of Melbourne. I think it was 3 years after you. 92 was my first one. So I can thank Bruce for all his help there, and even a couple other good coaches. Bill Barry, who you mentioned when we went to the world title in South Africa years ago. Bill Barry was a Scottish player. Came over years ago, settled in Australia, multiple Australian champion himself as well.
Absolute legend of the game.
Yeah, very good and good technique and just a good person to talk to and get to know more about the game. Two different styles of coaches, but both very beneficial.
I think Bill helped a lot of players in Australia, and same with Bruce. He helped a lot of players, probably more so in Victoria, but Bill was a very good mentor to... he was team manager at those world titles for many years, wasn't he?
Yep.
So he's always fantastic to have around and had a lot of stories to tell.
Very hospitable. He a couple of tournaments in Perth there he put me up for, well, the one before the world title. We went over there, Bill's, for a couple of days before to give us a bit of a tip, and being the nice people we are, we bought him a box of chocolates for him and his wife to enjoy, and in his thick Scottish.
Sorry,
that was a bit stiff, wasn't it?
He's potted that with very nice touch, and as he's pulling his cue back, he's just fouled the black. So it's sort of getting from bad to worse for Tyson, really. He looked like he's getting going there and had a tricky little shot and just fouled the black. But sorry, Andrew, carry on.
I was just going to say,
story.
Probably this is not an easy shot, but if he gets it, he could be in for quite a few. So he's just got to hit it well into the middle pocket. But getting back to that story with Bill Barry, to thank him and his wife for putting us up. Nice big box of chocolates, and in his thick Scottish accent, he's basically said, "I don't drink chocolates." So next year, I come out with a bottle of Johnny Walker Red for him. He said, "That's better, laddie."
Yeah, wonderful character, Bill.
Another good coach that I was fortunate to get 12 months with, Noel Goulet, another Queenslander who's had his own snooker up there as well, and he did a lot for the juniors up in Queensland, and you probably could say that there was a few juniors out of there that come out and won tournaments, as in the Wayne Turpin and Craig Duffys of yesteryear, and very prolific potters and break builders. Noel was one of them that sort of helped them along the way.
He's a fantastic coach as well, Noel. Spent a bit of time with Noel myself, and
good on the mental side, wasn't he?
Yeah, lovely guy. And Bob Turpin's carrying that on now in Queensland, and they've got one of the strongest junior programs in the country up there, and they keep producing great juniors.
Yep.
So really good to see the work Bob's doing, and hello to everyone from Queensland who's watching. Yeah, so a lot of different coaches there, Andrew, with different coaching styles. I'm sure.
Plenty around.
There's everyone has a different idea on how you should approach the game, and some are more technical. Others work more with the mental side, and it's good to get a different view of things, not just probably stick with one coach and just get different ideas on how to approach the game.
And even with our Neil Robinson over there, he can So that he was coached by one of the guys from the old Glen Huntley club and taught him how to pot balls like a madman. It seemed to work. Brett Rogers. I've had a few matches against Brett, and he's very deadly when he's on song. Very quick. And good day to Brett too.
Yes.
Another tournament winner.
Wonderful player, wonderful. He's got huge knowledge about the game and technique, and I know he helped Neil a hell of a lot over the years, and Peter Gray as well. He helped Neil a lot. He influenced a lot of players in Victoria as well, Peter.
Yep. He's got to land very close to these reds so he doesn't leave Sourav a shot, but it looks like he might be playing that shot again. This would be a foul and miss. I don't think the red's on beside the black, and I don't believe Sourav's going to have a go at that red. Yep, that's right. He's going to put him back and give him another chance to hit the reds.
So with family and work commitments, Andrew, you don't really have a lot of time for playing Q Sports anymore, which is a bit of a shame for everyone. I know a lot of people at Brunswick love to watch you play. A lot of people in Melbourne love to watch you play, but
yeah, it's more about now just
you still enjoy a game and you still keep your arm in and have a hit. And I know I had a session with you probably 12 months ago after this billiard festival was over, and I thought, oh, Andrew wants a game. Well, got a ball boy for the afternoon, I thought, and you come out, we're playing billiards after I've been playing billiards for the whole week, and you made 4 centuries, including 190 odd, and so the natural ability is still there, mate.
Yeah, and I just enjoy the game a bit more now, and there's no pressure on practicing, and it's good to play the likes of yourself and Dave Collins, another multiple Victorian billiards champion as well. And it makes you want to play and try harder. You know, you still want to try and win, but at the end of the day, it's a bit of fun, 4 or 5 hours practice, and I'm happy with that at the moment. I'm not saying never say never. One day I might come back and play in tournaments. If there's an over 60 or 70 Masters, I'll give that a crack in about 20 years.
Oh, well, I know there's a lot of people who'd love to see you come back before that, Andrew, and if you do come back, there'll be a lot of people happy to.
We've had our fair share of matches.
You play, mate.
Over the course, we've had our fair share of matches. We only played a couple of times in the juniors, I think, but I think at last count we've played 17 times in tournament.
God, you're counting.
Yeah, over the year, and without a word of a lie, I knocked you off in the first tournament we ever played in, and I knocked you off in the last tournament we ever played in, and you knocked me off in the 15 in between that we played in. So I can always remember that. So it's always the first and the last one that matters, I believe. It's not what happens in between. That's right. Yeah. Now I've probably been a few of those matches. I can safely say I had no chance in a few of them. There was a couple that went the whole way, but yeah, there's not many people that I could say that have just blown me off the table completely.
That's pretty generous of you, Andrew. Thanks for that. But I can hear some very good players in the background saying to stay in retirement, Andrew. So you'd be a very dangerous proposition to a lot of the guys still playing on the tour. So
yeah. Well, I said,
maybe one day you'll enter a few and see how you go. Because, like I said, your style of play was, really good, really natural, very quick, good to watch. So.
Thanks for that. And I did enter the over 40s, the Masters tournament, about 6 years ago it was, and it was more so just to see if that I still had the ability to compete. And I was lucky enough that I played all right, and I made the quarterfinals. I wasn't unhappy, and got beat by the eventual winner from the year before. So, but I feel as though I put the time in a couple of months before, just solid practice. And first frame back, I was lucky enough to make a century break. So I suppose I felt then, after that first frame, that I am still able to compete at a reasonable level.
Yeah,
But-
and that's
but
the
I-
beautiful
yeah.
thing about our sport. There is no, you can play it really well.
Here comes another left-handed shot by Tyson.
There's no time limit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Stan Gorski played in this. He played in the round robin section and knocked in he played in the plate event after the round robin. He just missed out on qualifying, and in the plate he knocked in 115 at 60. So
Yep. I had a few.
You can still compete. Age doesn't really come into it. So as long as your eyes are still working, keep yourself fairly fit.
Not as clear as what they were, but I suppose sometimes you just play on instinct.
So what do we got here? We've lost track of the game. We better get back on this final. It's a best of 9 match.
No, it's very close.
Scores are level, but we've got Sourav at the table. Now, these last 3 reds are going to be tricky, so he's got to work something out here.
I'd say just hold it for the blue, try and leave the angle to cannon into the pink to open up those 2 reds.
Yep.
Just a little bit of check side.
Yep.
Bring the white back over the same side of the table as him. Yep. He's hit it pretty well too by that.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's me. I better turn it this.
I think he's on it. I think it will just go.
Yeah, I think
I may be
that looks
wrong.
perfect to me. If that goes, he's 4-0 if that goes. If it doesn't go, he's got the clip on the other red and he's going to cannon into the pink.
Safety first.
No, I think he's playing this pot. He's going to try and go up for the blue off the pink.
Very good.
Colour, yeah. No, he's going to tuck him up now. So.
Still only 10 points of difference. But it's likely he's going to leave Tyson with a very hard shot, not to leave a red on.
Yeah, so he's blocked out the left-hand side of the table, so Tyson has to go the other side, which if he does hit the reds, he's a good chance of opening them up that way. Hitting the black even, it's quite tricky. It's got to take a bit of time over this one, Tyson. He's getting down. He should take a bit more time.
He may look at coming off just the one cushion just a little bit further up, being new cloth. The cushions do slide a little bit wider.
We're up to 162 watching. That's pretty good.
Probably about almost halfway up the side cushion. Slide it down in front of that top red next to the black.
No.
Almost.
No. You don't think he can go underneath the black and just try and rest on that red?
Maybe too risky. More risky of actually hitting the black and giving away 7 points. But being only 14 points behind, he could probably afford another couple. I think even if Sourav had a chance to get one of these reds now, I think he's going to win the frame. A couple of reds and a couple of colours will be enough.
I don't know what the delay is about. Why isn't the ball getting put back? Okay. Back she goes.
So I'm guessing he'll probably play the similar shot, but he'll just try and hit a little bit further down the cushion than he did that time.
Yeah, I wouldn't play it this way. I think it's pretty risky to play it this way.
I call it handle play.
Oh, he's hit it hard. Not bad. He's got a result
Just
here.
a hit and hope, and
There you go.
sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works. It works every time for you, Andrew.
Well, sometimes for other people. I think he's trying to just maybe clip off the left side of the red here and run safe again. He's looking at the pot in the middle, but I think his first thought was just to play it safe again and
I think he'll just
try and tie the red up.
Yeah, he'll just kill the red and play the cue ball near the green pocket here. He's
playing left side of the red. He's only going to miss the yellow, but
he's kissed it full ball.
He's left him a half chance, probably a shot to nothing. It's a long pot.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Tyson cues it well enough.
The blue. Yeah, he's playing with screw, so.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Beautiful shot, Tyson.
Now, if he can hold his nerve here, roll the blue in off the cushion. Hopefully he gets on that red near the black, and he can go along with it. I think the yellow, the last colour to the yellow is going to be the tricky one.
Yeah, I think he's just got enough angle to just squeeze past this pink and just get on this red. Might need a trace of running side, I don't know, but.
No, I think just one cushion.
Top side of the pink.
Yep, there we go.
Just missed that pink.
That's perfect.
6.
He's only 8 points behind. Red and a black sees it even, and he would need up to the blue for Sourav to need snookers.
Oh, he's let the white. Has he let the white? No, it's
I think
perfect.
he's hit it.
It's
he's
perfect.
hit it.
I thought he overhit it.
Couldn't put that any better. Now this is a shot. If he can get on the yellow from here, he's a very good chance to clear up and make it 3-1 at the break. He seems to be in control of his nerves. He's in the last four shots, he's hit perfectly. Let's hope he can just close this one out.
Yeah. He's a likeable character, and I'm sure everyone's going to be happy that he's got his first frame on the board here. Just requires the blue, and then
actually he requires the pink now.
He needs the pink as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would say he just stuns that there and knocks the pink in from the middle of the table. Maybe not overthink it too much. Just get down, pot it.
A bit of time.
Yeah. Could be a little bit of nerves too, a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss the pink and go 4-0 down at the break. So. Just forget about position on the black. Just concentrate on getting the pink ball in. Well done.
That's it. So, well done, Tyson. Australia has a frame on the board. India still in control of this final, though, at 3-1 up. We have a 15-minute break now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Andrew Hicks.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me.
You can continue a little bit more commentary after the break.
I'll do another frame.
It's been great chatting with you, and
tell some more stories after the break.
Yeah, we'll be back.
No worries.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Smoke. Quiet, please. Quiet. Enough out of you.
Why is nothing happening?
What the snooker referees?
Hey, watch yourself, throw you out. Excuse me, security.
Yeah, when he puts it in and makes a foul, you don't count that through.
No, I don't. Actually, I didn't see the foul, to be
You don't
honest.
have to get that close up. We can already see a big hit on
I
the
didn't see the foul. I did see it.
You're behind him.
Yeah, I did see it.
Stirring up, but if you get it, the camera.
That's all right. I know the truth. No, I missed the foul. And when I called the score, I didn't call the red.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Seven, then they got 7 and then 7 to.
Yeah, exactly. No, he fouled down here with black. I didn't see the
Was it
foul.
the red and fouled back?
Yeah.
Was it the red to make 7 points
Yeah.
and fouled back?
Sometimes so much is happening.
It's always, it's always.
Quiet, George.
Tyson.
George, let the brush my table now. You just playing on. Just dirty my table.
You haven't even brushed your table.
Just
Against the net.
Look at it.
Here you go, Les.
You can't.
George, you know, that's why you sent me for the,
He's trying to sell you a couple of dodgy cues.
you sent me a video file. Can you send it to me as a video?
Just screenshot it.
Just
Send it to a JP.
Yeah, the thing is, every time I screenshot it, right, just to size to suit, it pixelates. I screenshot it. Don't want to get big.
I sent you a screenshot, didn't I?
George, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks. I sent you.
I said it was a very big one.
Yeah, but I was like a screenshot as well.
I'll try again. But I last week and then cropped it to double it. And then it just pixelated. You know, I haven't because something I don't know.
That was a scam.
Because I tried to do it from what I had. If you've got I'll talk to you. Tuesday. Tuesday. 1,500 up, so we will stay all during the day.
Doesn't seem to have.
That will be increased. What time is it starting? I don't know.
Sorry? Yeah.
It depends on whether one of them gets into a quick break.
Yeah.
If they do, we'll finish in 1.5 hours.
Fifth frame. Sourav, Kothari, break. Less than 7. Thanks.
Welcome back to the second session of the final of the Reventon. We have at the moment Sourav Kothari playing Tyson Crinis at the moment. Tyson is up 3 frames to 1. We've just started the 5th frame now. Alongside me is another one of our players from Victoria, Steve Eberger. Welcome, Steve.
G'day, Andrew. How you going, buddy?
Not too bad. Hopefully we're going to get a good second session here. That one was just a little bit too fine. It looks like he may have to play that shot again.
Yeah, not too bad though. There's a cheap 4 points to give away instead of hitting it thick and maybe play on the white in the jaws or a bit of aim on the side of caution. He's got a big target off this side cushion, so it's not the worst shot to play. Pretty natural, I think. Yeah,
He's not going to leave anything on there.
Yeah.
Just gives Sourav an opportunity to clip off the red. off the side cushion, hopefully behind the yellow.
Play this with a little bit of screw possibly to widen it out a little bit.
He's probably played a little bit too much screw and caught the jaw. It's a half a chance here for Tyson to get in and get the first opportunity to score.
You just float this off the top cushion. He's pretty clear past the green, so he's got some cue to get through. Wow. He just doesn't look like as smooth as he was playing the semi-final against Matthew. He was just floating the ball in. From what I watched, I was a little bit busy at the time. Getting beat by Adrian Ridley, but he was in full command of that match. Anytime you beat Matthew Bolton 4-0 is a massive effort. I wonder if that took a little bit out of him for this final.
Maybe, and I did speak to Tyson only about 5 minutes ago and just wished him all the best, being his first final of a major ranking event in Australia. And he seems quite relaxed. There's no sign of nerves anywhere there, but you know, hopefully he can get his head down this frame and beyond and see if he can make a comeback.
Is that a good thing, Andrew? You're quite nervous when you played your finals and you played a bit
mate,
better
I was
on
never
edge?
nervous.
Or?
No, I was never nervous.
You're never nervous?
No, I shouldn't say that. No, I think everyone gets nervous. I think it depends on how you deal with those nerves. Everyone's different, and some people actually play a lot better when they do suffer from a little bit of nerves and makes them concentrate that little bit harder. Sometimes you can be too relaxed and just take it too nonchalant, and you know, but everyone's different, like I said.
Yeah. Did you perform better when you were a bit nervous, or were you a bit better when you were a bit more relaxed?
A little bit. Yeah, not too. Yeah, I had to be that little bit tense. I mean, you know, when you know you're in a big final or even a semi-final or even just a tournament in general, it's always good to just have a little bit of nerves to know where you are and not take anything for granted. Because I'm sure the opponent's probably feeling just the same as what you are as well.
You made the semi-finals of the world title, the world amateur, and is it South Africa, was it?
Yeah, it was, back in 1994. It was quarter of a century ago.
Were you nervous playing the semi, or were you relaxed?
No, I was probably the opposite. I was probably too relaxed.
Okay.
The couple of matches I had in the knockouts in the last 16 and quarters, come back from 3-1 on both occasions, and managed to get over the line 5-3 on both of them. And the semi-final seemed like it was a bit of a blur. I was leading 2-1, and that was the last frames I won. I got beat 8-2.
Wow.
But the guy that I played was very, very good tactician from Pakistan, and he didn't blow me away off the table. He just did what he had to do. He took on the right shots at the right time. And I think, I won't say the occasion got me, but I think I'd probably, if I had my time again, I'd probably say, well, you know, I had a better chance of winning. I could have given it a lot better, you know, chance of getting to the final there. But still, I was really happy. You know, first time in a world title in the seniors, and I was lucky enough to make it to the semis, so I can't complain.
Just back to the snooker, that Sourav's played an excellent safety. He's put the white hard up on the cushion, and also on the wrong side of the table, or wrong side safety as they call it. Tyson is a little bit of trouble here.
From what I can see there, he's either got to try and just clip that second red from on the right-hand side of the table and get back into bulk, but he's...
I think he's thinking about this closest red half ball, slide it past the pink.
He's probably got a chance to pot that second red, actually, on that side of the table, but he'd have to play it quite a lot of power.
Yeah, I like this shot, but he's got a bit more margin of error. As long as he gets past the pink.
There's a chance he might go in off here.
No, he's hit it pretty thick.
Probably not the worst result where the white's
lucky.
landed,
Yeah,
right on top of the blue.
Very definitely lucky.
I think he can, so he got away with one there. I don't think Sourav's going to have a go at that red to the right-hand side. I think he's just going to get out the rest and
Put him back in.
Play the side one off at 2 cushions.
Put him back where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And just slide it past the green ball. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he may have left that red on to the side of the table.
And it knocks it in, it'll help his confidence a lot because it can just stick on the red and land on the black pretty well.
It doesn't look like he's going for that ball. It looks like he's going for the second one around the back behind the black, possibly up to the blue. Oh, that's a good shot.
Great shot.
He's probably just a bit unfortunate to kiss the pink the way it did, but he's still got a chance on the blue.
Yeah, plenty of path. A pretty standard shot off the blue in and out of bulk for a snooker player. It's all about the pace here, I think, as well. Actually, the reds are a little bit in the way of each other, so he's going past the yellow by the look of it.
I would say he'd be playing for the reds behind the black,
Yeah.
underneath the black.
The only thing is you draw the white ball to the cushion like it. Just as long as he doesn't land straight, which it looks fairly straight.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to err on the side of caution here and just clip off the top of the top red and just run up safe. I think it's probably not worth potting the red there. He won't be on a colour if it's straight. I think he's better off just playing this shot that he's doing now.
And just want to expose that right hand side.
That's a good shot.
It's a great shot.
Potentially left that ball on, and he may force Sourav to actually have a go at this. There might not be an option for a safety shot here.
And it's funny how often snooker players knock these reds in when they've got no choice to go for the ball. Go for the pot, sorry. Big shot coming up. Oh, he's missed it quite well. Chance here for Tyson.
Half chance with that red at the top of the pack. The black's in a good position there.
You can probably screw off it and push the red out of the way to land on that black you spoke about.
He's opting to the safety shot. So maybe that just tells me the confidence is not there 100% at the moment. That I thought he may have taken on that red. It's not the hardest shot to play, but he might just feel as though he needs a little bit easier shot to get himself in the game.
Well, it's a shocker, that one. Not one of his better ones. But still, I don't think he's left a huge amount on. Just wonder if that red in the middle's on. Sliding past the other red near the pink spot. Looks tight.
There's probably not much chance for a position though on a colour there.
He seems to be.
I think he's
might have found one here.
He's got that red on the side, on the left.
It looked like a bit of a rushed cue action there.
He got lucky again. It's another instance where he may be forced to have a go at trying to pot that red along the side cushion. It's possibly a chance of a big pocket with that red down on the top cushion. Should he hit it a little bit
He's got genuine
too
cue.
thick?
He's got genuine cue power. So
Yep,
there you go.
exactly. So
Nice
he's
call, buddy.
Straight off the red. And he's got a lucky kiss too, which is a bonus. So
Yeah, I think it owes him one or two. So.
Yeah. So this is probably the best chance that Tyson has in the match so far to make a good lead, if not a frame-winning break with this visit.
Yeah, he needs to make a 50 or 60 just to help his confidence, I think.
He has got the option of the pink ball. It's a little bit more difficult than the yellow, but I would say if he's lacking that little bit of confidence, he may want to take the rest out and go for the yellow, but it looks like he's taken it on.
It'd be great to get the pink back up to the top of the table, especially with all those reds are. And the pinks, the black's not on the spot now, so at least he's got a big colour up in play now. And it looks like it goes to at least one pocket. So it'll make it a little bit easier to possibly score.
The red closest to the middle pocket there, if it's straight, he may have to just hit it a little bit lower, a little bit harder, forcing it, maybe to screw back for the pink. If he's got a fraction of angle there, he should be able to bring the white off the cushion for the blue and get back down for the reds.
Possibly pinch a bit of pocket there. The red's pretty close to the pocket, so looks like it's going to be a little bit awkward actually.
I think he'd go for the first option. I think he might just play a little bit of a screw back and play the pink into the opposite corner pocket.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having a big colour on the spot, especially where the reds are. Needs to stay nice and still. Big shot coming up on the pink.
Well, again, he's got the option. He probably will take the pink, but I could see him rolling in the blue as well and maybe going for a lengthy red. But I think he's got to back himself. He's cueing the ball okay. It's just the pink's not a hard shot, but if he can stun that in, leave the white where it is, he's got the red into the opposite corner pocket. He'll keep the break going. It should set him up for a good lead.
Yeah, I don't think he likes the pink too much, Andrew. The blue's not really that good because he finished on the wrong side of the red. Yeah, it's a great shot. He cued that really purely.
He's left himself a couple of options here, red in either middle pocket. The one on the left appears to be the shot to play. However, if he's got angle on this red here, he
He's
can
found
come
that
up for
little
the
gap
pink.
in between there, which is helpful. He's played
He's
the
up.
white too well.
He's overhit it and gone for the blue.
Oh, yeah. I think he played get on the blue anyway, I think. Turned out okay.
We can see Sourav at the top there just waiting patiently, and he may be there for a little bit longer yet. I can't see Tyson breaking down anytime soon.
Yeah, it was first time I've actually seen him live. I watched him play billiards online a couple of times, and I was really impressed over the weekend of how good his demeanour is around the table, and similar to Pankaj Giovanni, doesn't get really flustered. I've watched Pankaj a few times and play in the world titles and win a couple of world titles, and just looks like he's practicing. They just don't get upset. Or it's a great thing to watch.
I think he might have underhit that blue. He's just landed the wrong side of the red to remain on the pink, so he may have to play a little bit harder shot here by screwing the ball off the bottom cushion and back up for the pink or the blue.
There's actually a bit of a gap there between, or just sort of floating over the blue spot. Excuse me, the black spot off two cushions possibly. Yeah, or that option to play the one cushion stun. A lot more power involved in the one cushion stun. That's a problem when you hit the ball that hard. You tend to lose a little bit of control, so big choice here.
Well, he can possibly take the black. If he takes the black, his next shot will be a safety shot. He'll have a 30-odd point lead. He may wish to go for the blue. If he knocks this in, he's got a better option to pot the red in the other corner pocket.
That's pretty good.
No, he just probably rushed that a fraction. But nevertheless, he's got a bit of a lead up. He hasn't left that much. Sourav may attempt to go for this red here, but I think he will just clip the one on the right-hand side of the pack. but it looks as though he is committed and he is going to play this red.
That's the thing I like about him. He really thinks about what he's doing. He takes his time. He's got quite a compact cue action. Very relaxed around the table.
Oops. Well, he's left Tyson another opportunity to extend his lead here. Won't be any problem the red going in. It'll just be a matter of if he can get on a colour.
If that red gets out of the way, that's pretty good.
Could have been worse, but he's
That's
managed to get on the pink.
Andrew.
All right.
You actually probably would have landed full ball, Andrew, on the pink. You were hard enough to beat with all the luck, without the luck you had.
He's played that well.
It's lovely.
So it looks like he's just starting to feel like he's got himself into the final now, and he's in an actual match.
I think it's a massive win in that frame. I think you can tend to relax after you win that first frame a little bit more.
And the break probably did him good too, just to get out, clear your head a little bit outside, bit of fresh air.
Yep. A lot of people backing him and trying to support him. Now there's a Melburnian.
He's just got to be careful here that his vest doesn't touch the yellow ball.
Not sure if the ref's in a great position there, but nevertheless.
There's still plenty of reds on here, but I think he may have just wanted to not run through as much as what he has there.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit trickier shot here to stun the red up past the pink.
Between the pink and red, you mean, or
Possibly even
can screw it?
Screw it from, back to this side of the table.
Yeah, I didn't
He
like the
might
screw
be
shot.
lucky. He's got a nice little kiss there. He's left him dead straight on the blue. So.
Normally only girls kiss you like that. But, that's pretty good.
So he won't have any problem potting this one in.
Especially when it's a right-hander's blue, really. So nearly put the mock on him there, Andrew.
Almost.
He watched it go in.
He's got a similar shot now to what he had a few minutes ago, playing the red into the middle. If he decides to take that one, otherwise he pulls out the rest and he plays the one on the left-hand side.
Oh, he could just
back for the pink.
Yeah, because the pink's not on in the left middle, I don't think. This is what he's checking now. Yeah.
Now I think he's going to attempt the same shot as what he did before. It's the last time he caught it a fraction low and didn't get back onto a colour.
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of right-hand side too off the last one. Hence maybe possibly from the power that he had to play with it.
Well, he's got a 42-point lead at the moment, so another 2 or 3 reds with colours should see him over the line in this frame and make it 3-2. He's still got a little bit of work to do though. Yeah, he just jumped up a little bit on that shot then.
Yeah.
So he's given Sourav a good opportunity to get back into the frame.
It looks a little bit straightish, this red. I'm not sure if it's got too much angle. You might have to pot the pink in the opposite pocket, opposite middle. It looks like he's trying to force a little bit out of it.
Played that
a
well.
little bit more angle than I thought. Excellent shot. I think he's been waiting for an opportunity like this. Nice, comfortable, free visit to the table. Not all too hard to get on either.
Notice in the comment section there's good support for Tyson. Come on, go Tyson. So
They're up to 170 viewers as well, which is fantastic. I think that's probably the highest this morning. So, well, that pink does go past that red, which is makes me wonder why Tyson didn't soft screw that red in the centre and just basically ran where where he is now. He's a popular guy, Tyson. He's got a great personality, and I think he's really well liked and well received through the snooker community. So,
Does he actually live in Melbourne now?
he's moved down here. Yeah, he's been a tiler for I think 7 years now, and I think he's moved down here, and I think he's planned to stay here for a couple of years. He must like the weather.
Yeah.
Which is
It
probably
is
crazy.
it is the sport to play when it's a little bit cooler. so-
Absolutely.
And I have noticed there have been a few more people that are starting to wear the glove, whether that be for the humidity to try and combat that, the cue sticking.
Oh, right. Yeah, I haven't noticed that actually.
More so with the American 9-ball.
Oh, they love it. I think it's more of a fashion statement myself.
28.
Slowly reeling in Tyson's lead, 40-odd points. So that was a nice shot into the middle.
He looks good all of a sudden, doesn't he? He's,
Confidence is up.
yeah.
Separates the good players from the really good players. They get an opportunity to come back from 40 behind it, and they make the game look easy.
And he's playing at beautiful speed too. There's not much thought process there. Looks like the first thing he sees is the first thing he plays. This could be all over very quickly. Tough shot this. It's
Back to 2 points.
not guaranteed. He's played it well.
41.
So this is a shot getting on the yellow. This will decide everything.
Yeah, if he was a left-hander, it'd be perfect for the pink, but I don't think he'd be able to have the power to knock that in and get back up for the yellow. He's got a shot where he could pot the blue in. It's a little bit trickier, but if he did that, he's going to get a lot better position.
He looks
So
like he's possibly trying to land on the yellow to play it maybe off a couple of cushions, a bottom cushion, maybe top cushion.
Yep.
Or side and top. He's playing the run through. Oh, he's
So he
overhit that.
might have overhit that. He could be in trouble here.
Especially if it kisses the black.
I think he might be in trouble.
47.
Oh, Tyson's got a little grimace on his face, so he might have landed on it.
Crinis the Grimace.
You're making up nicknames now, Angie. That's pretty lucky to end up getting on that.
Maybe he's on it.
He is on it, yeah. It's
Oh,
quite
that-
natural to get on
that
the
could
green
hurt
too.
now. I don't see him missing from here.
Fortune favours the brave. Yeah, I haven't seen him miss a clearance yet, so be a good time to start for Tyson, but I can't see it happening.
52.
10 in front, just needs the blue. Pretty standard shot.
If anyone's watching that wants to know how to stand or hit the ball or approach the table, I think this guy, he's pretty much almost textbook perfect. He's got a very good cueing action, nice and compact, short backswing. And he's only got to drop this pink in and he's got a lead of 4-1. And there we have it. He's probably just going to pot the black in for a clearance of 60, 70.
74, I think it is.
67, yep. The frame's already won. It's just a little bit more potting practice and clear the table. Not quite, but he goes into frame 6 with a 4-1 lead. I think Tyson having to win the next 4 to take the title.
Yeah, it's a
We'll
big
be back
ask.
shortly.
There's beers in the fridge.
Let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. A tomorrow where your finances, property investments, property management, accounting, and financial planning are looked after in an exceptional capacity, all under the same roof. When hiring Reventon, you are hiring a team of professionals to support you in your investment and financial decisions. Your future is Reventon's future. So, let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. Today.
Kicks.
All right, welcome back everybody. Just about to start the 6th frame. Tyson the break. He's 4-1 down, got his work cut out. You still with us, Andy? Yeah. What are you thinking about, buddy? Thinking about making a comeback,
I'm thinking
mate?
4-1, and just I've seen a lot of comebacks from 4-1. The odd close frame here and there that the player that's behind, that they can pinch it. All of a sudden they get a little bit of confidence. The player that's in front starts to show a bit of panic.
I might have done that to you once, I think.
You probably did. Yeah, once.
Once, yeah. I did say once.
Never
I didn't
again.
say 7 times. He said that quite badly for a half-ball pot. I think he went for the pot, I'm not sure. But he left Tyson in a little bit tricky position. Got quite an easy safety or a half chance at a pot into the green pocket. He might relax now, Tyson, that he's 4-1 down. He might just let loose.
He's left Sourav another chance for a long red. Should he drop this in, he's got perfect position on the black, which should set him up for a little bit of a lead. It's a nice pot, and I think he's landed pretty much perfect.
He's quite good at that shot. He knocked a couple of those in the last frame in the semi-final. Was quite aggressive through the pot, which is good to see. He's overhit that, or underhit it, depending on which way he was going.
I think he may be able to see that red near the pocket.
Oh, it is on, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to put my glasses on.
He's not showing any signs of nerves at the moment.
Yeah, he's well beer champion, so
17.
he's been in situations like this before, I'd imagine. So, and this is a big shot coming up if he gets a result on the pack. Oh, the top red's on. Oh, as Ronnie O'Sullivan always says, never play to get on one red.
He's just overhit at that fraction. He hasn't left himself that red at the bottom of the pack.
I'm surprised he didn't try and split the balls up there. Oh.
I'm not sure whether he's actually gone for that. Leave Tyson a snooker.
It's not the worst fluke in the world to happen against you.
Looks like he's taken the extra 4 points and then just the safety off the 2 cushion.
Unlucky. Quite a good pot. And the safety coming up behind the yellow. Or do that.
He tried to open up the pack, then hit the yellow off the cushion.
Yeah.
So each player's just trying to out-general the other one by causing him to make a mistake with a safety shot.
Well, we never intended to hit the yellow, I guess, but it's worked out okay. You got a shot to nothing on here, or you swing past that red on the left? That's a loose one from Tyson.
That could be dangerous now.
He looks like
28 points down. He didn't want to leave Sourav another opportunity like this. Could give him a really good lead, if not the frame and the match.
Looks like he's dropped his shoulders a little bit, young Tice, being his first final. If you can get the black back on the spot here, it'll make things a lot easier.
The table looks like it's running really well too. I believe they just got reclothed not long ago. And
yeah, all tables have been done. They played beautiful. I was lucky enough to play here on Friday in the round robin stages, and they played really, really well. Beautiful cloths, really genuine speed. No bounces off the cushion really. Yeah, just lovely. Even when you're splitting the pack, and everything was really, really simple. You didn't have to hit it too hard. Safeties were quite easy to play as well. Alcocks do a great job, as they did up in Albury for the Reventon International. The tables played amazingly well. I haven't played on tables like that in Australia for a long time, and they were beautiful. And these are virtually similar, identical to the ones in Albury, so very consistent.
he's in complete control now, Sourav. It's only a matter of time now, I think, before the match ends. This red's on to the right corner pocket. He was looking to see if the black goes past that red into the opposite corner. it looks like it does, but if not, he's got an easy stun shot to remain on the pink, drop the pink in,
Yeah, the balls
continue
are
the
looking-
break.
He doesn't have to play any cannons here at all. Everything's on. This will make 2 reds on into the opposite pocket. It must be on.
49-point lead now. An extra 7 points with the black, another 2 reds, and it's safely say he'd be over the line.
It's just landed a little bit tricky. You might have to just roll it in possibly. I thought it looked a little tricky.
Yeah, he's just
thought
maybe
if
hit
he-
it too thick, hasn't he?
Well, I thought if he just rolled it in, it was guaranteed to be on the red. But stunning it like that, I haven't got it super clean. So
Still 56-point lead, 75 left on the table, a possible 75 points.
and Brown banged hard up on the bottom nameplate as well.
Kothari, 28.
Oh, he's got a great little kiss off the green, which is full ball snookered Tyson on everything. 2 cushions off the back cushion here. Maybe rest up on that loose red on the left hand side there. Oh, that's a tough shot. He's trying to play. He'll be playing that shot again.
Yep.
Kothari, 4.
I thought he could come off the side cushion, top cushion, just rest behind the loose red on the left hand side there. I think it's probably a little bit easier to judge. If he hits this too thick, the white could career into the pink if he does eventually hit the red. I'm surprised he's playing this shot. I think it's a lot easier off 2 cushions
Yeah,
for some reason.
bit of side.
It looks like a lot, actually.
Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to be put back again, I think. 64-point lead now. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag here to get back into the frame and the match.
Mm. 75 left on the table. You can't afford to lose too many more.
Yeah, that was the only problem with that shot.
The pink was always there, wasn't it?
It's not an easy shot to drop this red in, but I would say Sourav may have a go at it, possibly looking at the red with the rest into the right corner pocket. But I think he'll take the safe option first.
I think it's a bit awkward to at least have a go at the pot anyway.
He might go with plan B and just play another safety shot.
Well, he was. He was going to go for that. I thought he was lining it up. Maybe soft screw up the white behind the pink as a shot to nothing, maybe. The white's sort of going that direction if you screw the red. Yeah, that's a cracker.
Okay, so
That's great. He didn't
he
leave
played
anything
it
on.
just in case he missed. Yeah, he covered the pocket.
Very smart.
If he drops this blue in, it'll leave Tyson requiring a snooker to get back into the match. There's 70 points, 67 left on the table.
Yeah, I can't see Tyson coming back from this. He hasn't played as well as he did in the semi-final.
Very deliberate on the shot here. He's just caught the jaw and maybe left Tyson a small opportunity to get back into this game. But with 67 on the table, he'll need to knock most of these reds in with high colours, either pink or blacks, to leave himself just remaining with one snooker required.
It's a little bit tricky this. You'd have to float it in this red, I think. Not something he can screw on the other side, obviously, because of the congestion, but he may choose to play safe. I'm not sure.
It's unfortunate. Just caught the jaw, and I think that should be the end of the match now.
It looked like he had to play that with a little bit of left-hand side, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which made it obviously a little bit harder than what it was.
One.
Just a matter of time now. Sourav will just go through the motions of potting the rest of the balls that he can.
9.
And deserving winner. He looks like he's played a very, very good final all throughout the tournament. Just a little bit of unlucky there, but I don't think it's going to matter though. He's too far in front. I think we're going to see Tyson get out of his chair and shake his hand. And there we have it. Kothari, 2019 champion of the Reventon Classic. Thank you very much to Reventon at
and well done
Reventon.com.
Well done to Tyson on making his first final.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more.
Didn't have the easiest draw in the world. And typical of Sourav, just thought he'd keep practicing, knocking it along blue. Yeah, it's great to see him play. He's got to be one of the favourites for the Billiards next week in both formats.
Okay, so shortly they'll get on with the presentations, but yeah, stick around and thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully we'll see you at the next Reventon, the next Grain Ranking Tournament.
And keep supporting the game in Australia, people. We're moving forward. Lots of good money involved, lots of great conditions, lots of great ideas and new concepts. So keep supporting, keep playing, tell your friends all about the game. Get people involved in cue sports, whether it be snooker or pool or billiards. Yeah, keep the ball rolling, as Chris likes to say all the time. So, thanks everyone.
Yep. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Andy.
Bye.
So, down to the club and let's enjoy ourselves. Thank you.
Let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. A tomorrow where your finances, property investments, property management, accounting, and financial planning are looked after in an exceptional capacity, all under the same roof. When hiring Reventon, you're hiring a team of professionals to support you in your investment and financial decisions. Your future is Reventon's future. So, let's talk about a more prosperous tomorrow. Today.